What the fuck? Why are all these athletes getting busted for PEDs all of a sudden? Well, I don't really think it's all of a sudden, but I'm going to give you the reason why I think we're hearing more about PEDs in just a second. First, welcome to the channel, Old Guy Inc. Take a second right now, please. Just hit like right now. Just hit like. It really helps me and I'd appreciate it. So speaking of PEDs, I just got out of my sauna, 20 minutes at 220 degrees, and some experts have called saunas PEDs. They're joking, but I have an article specifically I read where the article is, are saunas the new PEDs? Now, saunas are not new, of course, but all of the positive benefits and protein, heat shock proteins, and increase in blood plasma volume, helps increase your VO2 max, can increase muscle synthesis. I mean, there are so many things that saunas have been proven to do that some people even joke that they're the new PED. That's the only PEDs I'm taking. Probably why I'm only mediocre, right? But anyways, moving on. PEDs and athletes. Why are we hearing all these athletes all of a sudden pop for PEDs? Well, let me see. I have a couple of reasons that I can think of off the top of my head. Let's go in no particular order, okay? Reebok, Noble, Rogue, Nike, TYR. Do you see where I'm going? The sport is growing, people. Sponsorships are growing. Money is on the line, right? And I've talked about this in some of my other videos. I mean, Reebok is now offering to make a few people full-time athletes. So you got to understand this, right? All of a sudden now, CrossFit is changing lives more than ever. Making it to the CrossFit Games is high profile. There's a lot of Monster now is jumping on board. They're huge, right? I mean, there are so many big name sponsors out there and ones that are still to come, that being successful at CrossFit is no longer a hobby. It's no longer something that's just like, oh, cool. Wouldn't it be fun if I made it to the CrossFit Games? No. People are making a profession now. They're making a living, and all you have to do is look at all the other professional sports organizations and you realize when money's on the line, this is what's going to happen. Now, whether or not CrossFit has changed, updated, or increased their testing procedures, I really don't know. I'm not going to lie. But regardless, what I'm going to tell you is PEDs have always been around in CrossFit. They're going to continue to be around. And in my opinion, they're going to be around now more than ever. And it's only going to increase the more money is on the line, right? And I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again, okay? Damn, it's just so hard. We don't want people doing PEDs. We don't, right? I've already given my scouts honor. I've never done PEDs, but I'm going to repeat this. It's because I've never been in the situation to where making the decision to do PEDs might make me a shit ton of money. It might make me a professional athlete. It might get me to the Olympics, to the games. It might get me a sponsorship, right? It might allow me to quit my job. And most of you out there probably have not been in that situation. So there is your answer. Your answer is the professionalism of CrossFit is going without question to make more people, break under the pressure, whatever you want to call it, or simply just take the risk. Because, man, even if you get busted, right, you do your apology, you do your time. If you're young enough, you can still come back. I mean, it's like the amount of people that are getting caught, let's be real, based on the amount of people that are doing it, your chances are pretty good actually of getting away with it statistically in most sports across the board, especially if you're working with somebody or anybody who actually kind of knows what they're doing. And the more professional CrossFit becomes, the more prevalent and more easily it's going to be to find somebody to work with, a doctor or somebody that's going to help you, right? So there it is. I'm just going to stick with my sauna as my natural PED. I think that works great. I posted a video recently about heat, working out in the heat, saunas, hot tubs, how good any sort of heat therapy, heat acclimation is when your body has to acclimate to the heat. There's so many incredible benefits that do mimic some minor things that PEDs do. So I'm just going to stick with the legal stuff right now. But if all of a sudden I wake up one day on the cusp of making $1 million, or if I'm this close to getting sponsored by Rogue or Reebok making me a professional athlete, woo, I hope I'm not faced with that decision if I know that a lot of the other people around me who are beating me are doing PEDs. I don't want to cast those stones. I think it's a tougher decision than we want to give people credit for. We want to be up on this high and mighty ground. Especially an old guy like me who's a has-been, who, doesn't have that option regardless right now in my future. It would be very easy for me to just sit up here and go, oh, shame on all these athletes. CrossFit is supposed to be the true sport. We're different than other sports. And it's like, maybe we were, but now we're not. We're owned by business people. We're owned by people who are looking to make money, marketing strategies. So a lot of things are changing for the good and for the bad, but PEDs are here to stay in CrossFit. So there you have it. The evil of money, right?